Relations and Institutional Access, Dr. Elwin Lee.
I know you all see all this, and it's here for a reason. That's so you'll think I'll be speaking a long time, and then you'll be grateful when I sit down in 10 minutes. Listen, I'll keep this relatively informal and friendly. And first, let me say, I want to congratulate all the students for their achievement. You are among the few from well over 20,000 people who applied to the University of Houston. So why don't we all give the students here a big hand. And I want to congratulate the parents, because without the parents, I'm sure they couldn't achieve that. And I have 2 kids who graduated from college, so I know what you've gone through. So I certainly want to give you a hand. Now, all of us who will be speaking here tonight are really passionate about the University of Houston and the fact that U of H represents an extraordinary opportunity for you, the graduate here. Now, U of H is a Tier 1 school, as you've heard, but I'm sure you're thinking, and certainly your parents are thinking, well, gee, what's it going to mean for my kid when they graduate? Well, let me just say, Houston has probably the best economic climate in the country, as you know, and the University of Houston is focused on exploiting that greatness and to be locally relevant and nationally competitive and globally recognized. Let me first talk about the broad academic programs. We have over 20 majors and minors across 9 academic colleges. Over 120 is what I'm saying, over 120. I bet it would be hard for someone if you just tried to name 20 of them. So I encourage all of you to really look into all those majors and see all the things that are. There are some majors out there that you haven't even thought of, new things on the horizon. Now, Houston is the energy capital, so we have programs relevant to that energy capital. We have subsea engineering, we have chemical engineering, petroleum engineering, auditing, accounting, marketing, and communications, just to name a few. Houston is the #1 port in the country, #1 in tonnage, #1 in imports and exports. Now, all these goods require individuals who major in something called supply chain and logistics. And you can major in that in technology. You can also major in the Bauer College. Cedric Van Doe, one of our recent grads, will be here a little later, and he majored in that. Houston is the #1 place for business, the startups, the #1 place that business are moving to. Their majors that are relevant to this are accounting, retail and consumer science, marketing, digital media, human resource development, entrepreneurship. I'm sure you all have heard we have the top undergraduate entrepreneurial program in the country. You can even major in something like history and end up being an entrepreneur like Hannah McCon, who majored in history and African American study and has a business through a partnership with Ghanaian seamstresses. Also Dolly Bridgewater, someone who majored in English and who also is heading up a bank here in town. Houston has the largest medical center, which spawns thousands of jobs. Majors relevant to that, of course, biology and pharmacy. I don't see, is Dr. Williams here? Lewis Williams? He's not here yet. I was hoping he and Dr. Fleming, who teach in the pharmacy school, would be here tonight. Speech pathology, psychology, physical therapy, health and human performance, biotechnology, and now we have a nursing program as well. Fully 1/3 of the degrees awarded in the UH system is awarded in health-related fields. Fully 1/3. Now, everyone knows Houston and Texas is one of the largest markets for automobiles. So once you land one of those jobs or while you're interning, you may arrive in a vehicle partially designed by graduates of the UH Industrial Design program that's housed in the College of Architecture. You may actually sit in a chair designed by one of your classmates. One of our recent graduates is actually working with the Lamborghini company designing sports cars in Europe. Like I said, UH has the 14th ranked industrial design program in the world. in the whole world, not just in the country, in the world. With all those people moving here, housing and construction and development is picking up. It's booming here in the city of Houston. So you might want to major in architecture so that you can design some of those houses and build some of those buildings where the people work. And those houses and those buildings may be built by Cougars who graduated with degrees in construction management. And everyone would want to go out and eat at restaurants and enjoy hotels to celebrate their success. So you might want to major in hotel and restaurant management. Our hotel restaurant management school is one of the top 3 nationally in the country. And it's just across the street, and some of you are probably staying there. I hope you agree it's a great laboratory for students to learn how to operate hotels, and they also learn how to run restaurants. There's a restaurant there called Barron's that is run by students where they get great experience there. You could, again, as I said, own or manage your own restaurant. Eventually, almost everyone gets around to having babies, or they come to town with them, and these children have to go to schools where they will be taught by graduates of our College of Education who majored in curriculum instruction, in institutions headed by other graduates of our College of Education who major in educational leadership and probably policy studies. I think I have out there Dr. Roll, who chairs that department, right? There he is right there. He just recently joined the faculty here, and I think Dr. Dare from the College of Education is over on this side. He's the research associate dean in the College of, would you raise your hand? I think there you are, over there. 2 of our great faculty in the College of Education. University of Houston is an affordable place. Let me just briefly touch on that. It's one of the reasons you might want to come here in addition to the great academic programs and opportunities. 26% of UH students graduate each year have less than $10,000 in debt. UH ranks 7th in the nation for the lowest amount of debt a student incurs. And just imagine that, 7th in the nation for the lowest amount of debt that they incur when they graduate. Princeton Review calls the University of Houston one of the best values in the country. We have several initiatives to help students curb the cost of education. One big initiative is UH in 4 program. How many of you have heard of the UH in 4? Could you raise your hand? Okay, well, if that program freezes the tuition for 4 years if certain conditions are met. It's a big initiative. We're all galvanized to make that a reality for the students that participate in. It involves extra advising, extra monitoring. It involves a promise from the university that course will be available when you need it. So look into that if you're looking to freezing your tuition costs. There's also something called the Cougar Promise, which if your family has an adjusted gross of $45,000 or less, if you're first-time, full-time freshman, you might qualify for that, where your education, at least the tuition and fees, are free. There are other support scholarships as well. Many students don't know it, but most of the academic colleges have college-specific scholarships of theirs. So if you're in the Bauer College, there's a number of Bauer scholarships, and architecture the same. There are even some support programs and other programs that have scholarships. The Urban Experience Program, which is a support retention and leadership program, they have scholarships, African American Studies. And then there are special alumni groups that have scholarships as well, that they try to give those scholarships to University of Houston students. The Cougar Athletic Alliance is one. There's the Black Alumni Association. There's the Black Leadership Network here, which is a staff group. I think the president of the Black Leadership Network is here. Where are you, Will? Somewhere out there. There he is over there. He probably hands-picks the winner, so you might want to get to know him. Anyway, since University of Houston wants you to experience our wonderful life on campus, University of Houston is starting Experience UH scholarships. We have, as you probably heard, great residence halls. The ones for the first-year students are pretty much brand new, and to encourage people to live on campus, they're starting these scholarships, which if you meet certain criteria, you can receive $4,000 to live on campus. And it really helps with the parking if you're already here. Anyway, some of you from out of town, we are very accessible. If you, of course, if you live on campus, that makes us the most accessible. If you're here, you just roll out of bed, you know. But there's also courses in Northwest Houston, there are courses in Katy, and we have a satellite campus now in Sugar Land. So if you come here, you quite possibly may be taking some courses both here and there, and as well as online. We have an extensive array of online courses and programs. So your education is very accessible. We have great faculty. We're only one of 108 universities out of 4,633 that are deemed Tier 1 universities in the country. Only one of 108. And there are only 3 public colleges in Texas that are ranked as Tier 1 universities. We are the #1 university in technology transfer. This is #1 in terms of universities that don't have a medical school. What that means is that we are converting our patents and discoveries, faculty patents and discoveries, into marketable products. We get more money every year from our patents than any other public university without a medical school. I could give you some examples of that. One of them is this nanotechnology. One of our professors developed a coating material that protects wood and fabrics, and so we get money for that. In the last 5 years, our patents have increased from 5 to 23. There's something called superconductivity. I'm talking about great research. And our students get to work along with these great research faculty. This is not just something you can be proud of. University of Houston tries very hard and quite successfully to have students work with these great researchers. So to have great researchers is something that you can take advantage of and learn from. In superconductivity, there's a professor who I know him just as Silver, you know, kind of like in golf, there's Tiger, and superconductivity is Silver. Anyway, he is working on developing wire that will reduce the, that will be a superconductor of electricity, that will reduce the cost of electricity. And the first person to get to do that, boy, it'll revolutionize things all over the world, and I can't wait for us to receive the money from that. We have professors who develop robotics to the point where Professor Jose Contreras-Vidal has developed a system whereby people who are paralyzed might be able to walk with his device on just by using their mind to control it. One of our professors in geophysics discovered the world's largest volcano. And I have people working in other areas, such as Dr. Obasi, who's the chair of the educational psychology, who's studying the effects of drugs on stress. And I could go on and on and over. The point is, this world-class research, and you as students get to participate in that work of research because that's an emphasis of ours. Now, in addition to great research, we have great teachers. Not all schools put the emphasis on teachers like we do. This is confirmed by our student surveys, and you can also go on Rate My Professor and see what students have said about the overall quality of the teaching at the University of Houston. Such professors like Donna Stokes, who's right here in natural science and mathematics, Professor of Physics right there, and Professor Tillery over here in the history department. They're great teachers here. And of course, they're led by our provost, Dr. Paula Short. That is the chief academic officer, and I just mention this because in 2013, she received something called the Master Professor Award from the University Council of Educational Administration. This is kind of a lifetime achievement award. It's for sustained excellence in teaching, promoting innovation in classroom, and she's at the head of the whole academic enterprise. And there are lots of academic faculty, lots of, in particular, African American faculty as well. I've mentioned a few. I think Allison Leland is out here as well. There she is back there. Allison Leland, she teaches political science and also teaches in the Honor College. And she and the others I mentioned are just part of a group of very incredible teachers here at the University of Houston. So in addition to great research and great teaching, you also have, oh, excuse me. Oh, I feel like I'm in a movie theater. I'm about to be thrown out. I'm so sorry. Forgot to do that. Okay. Well. I know I was going to keep this informal. I didn't mean to be that informal. Okay, I think we're good. Anyway, we have great support programs here at the university. The number one priority of the president, if you were to ask any staff, would be student success. We're really committed to your student success. And there are all kinds of programs and initiatives. We have a professor mentoring program where professors will mentor 4 or 5 students. We have learning support services that's embedded in the freshman residence hall where you can go down and they'll teach you learning strategies, they'll teach you study strategies, they'll help with homework. We have a writing center that sees 18,000 people a year. There's a scholars enrichment program run out of the engineering college. They have a bridge program and they work with students in small groups to help them with science courses. It's called Scholars Enrichment for those of you interested in science. There's the Center for Academic Support and Assessment, which is a huge mathematics tutoring effort here at the university that's been very successful and increased the student success in those courses. You have the Challenger program for students who are first time in college from their families. You have the Urban Experience program, which is a leadership program. Is Dr. Jones here? I don't see. Oh, there she is. That's the head of the Urban Experience program. By the way, they have a couple scholarships as well, so you might want to get to know her. We have disability services. We have psychology services. We have something called exploratory studies. That's for students who haven't decided what they want to major in. And in exploratory studies, they integrate academic support and career counseling to help students decide what they want to major in. So again, part of this overall initiative, and that too is staffed some outstanding and sensitive staff. They have what they call lead student success advocates that work with you. I talked about the residence halls and Cedric, the recent grad, he was our recent student body president. He'll talk about that a little more, but I just want you to know in terms of support, they have faculty who live in the residence halls that helps you available. They have theme halls, they have communities of interest. This focus is really on helping you be successful academically. Now, a lot of the people who function in these programs look like you, so I want you to know you feel real comfortable at the University of Houston. You know, when I went to school, African Americans had to fight some battles, but all those battles have been fought and won here, so you can really be at home. And in addition to some of the staff you see here, you have other African Americans that play leadership roles. You have Caesar for marketing and communication. How many of y'all have seen the Powerhouse commercials or seen the signs of Powerhouse at the airport about U of H? Well, that's Richie Hunter, and you'll see a lot more things that tell you about the University of Houston. We have, I don't know how many people in development, and the list goes on and on. We have the head of career services, University Career Services, I think she's here. Ms. Thornton, there she is right there, right in front of me, and she's over career services. So African Americans are very entrenched at the University of Houston and in very important positions. So for those of you parents who wondered about that, now you don't have to wonder anymore. There are also great leadership potentials here at the University of Houston. There are over 500 student organizations. Cedric will probably talk about that. But with over 500, I can't even imagine that you could think of an interest that you might have where there isn't already an organization. Over 500 organizations. Great opportunities for you to be the president of something or to exercise some leadership skills. Interestingly enough, I think 4 out of the last 6 student body presidents just happen to be African American. And I think the homecoming cream for last year and this year were both African American, just coincidentally. I think this year's homecoming cream is in the room. Is Brooke Sullivan, is she here? Or did she have to go? There she is. Why don't you stand up? That's Brooke Sullivan, this year's homecoming cream. She got the wave down, right? No. And last year's editor-in-chief of the Daily Cougar was an African American. Well, the point is here, whether you're African American or Hispanic or Asian or whatever you are, LGBT, You truly can be all you can be here at the University of Houston. Opportunities are there for you if you pursue them with vigor. And that's the point I'm trying to make. So the result of all this, you got nationally competitive students who go out to win business case competitions, design competitions, music competitions, other competitions all across the land. Students who become leaders in business, like Alvin Lewis, who is the CEO of Potbelly and former CEO of Sears and Target. Cheryl Crusoe, co-owner of Frenchie's Chicken, which is a celebrated chicken place here. Those who are from Houston, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. I wouldn't be the man I am today without Ms. Crusoe, who was co-owner, has 5 degrees from the University of Houston. Anyway, University of Houston was recently lauded for being a global leader, not just a national leader, in producing CEOs. You know, CEO of, I think it's Shell, CEO of Neiman Marcus, places like that are University of Houston graduates. Leaders in science, such as Bernard Harris, who became the first African American to walk in space. Leaders in the arts, like Loretta Devine and Crystal Stewart. Y'all may know her, you young people. She stars in Tyler Perry's For Better or For Worse. Anybody look at that show? Okay. And Rushion McDonald, he's the executive producer of the Steve Harvey Show. He's a UH grad. He majored in math, ironically. He uses that to count his money. He's going to be honored this year as a distinguished alum in May. Leaders in government, we have city council members like Clarence Bradford. We have the city controller, Ronald Green. I know you all heard of State Senator Royce West. There's some people here from Dallas, right? He's a UH grad. Actually, he used to be one of my students, if you can believe that or not. I know it's hard to believe. And State Representative Sylvester Turner, and the list could go on and on. The leaders in medicine, we're official member of the Texas Medical Center. We have the leading optometry school, we have a leading pharmacy school, and as I mentioned, we have a nursery school now. We have arrangements with 4 allied health and medical schools that facilitate the entry of our UH graduates into medical careers. I know some of you out there want to do that. You can get there from here. You will get there from here. Last year, we cut the ribbon on a 7-story biomedical building. We're in planning for a 10-story building that we hope to cut the ribbon for that soon. Chancellor announced in her report to the university this year that she expects to have a medical school here by the year 2020. So I hope you get the picture. As the president, Dr. Renu Couture, who is a great leader, not just here but nationally. She is the, I think, chair-elect of the American Council of Education. Declares there's no limit to our success, no limit to your success. So let me leave you with thought. UH is the second most ethnically diverse research university in the country. There are 4,173 African Americans in the fall, representing 10.2% of the student body, 26.9% Hispanic students, 19.8 Asian American students, 29% white students. There were 9.8% international students from over 127 countries and 3% multiracial students. We also have an estimated 1,300 LGBT students and a resource center to serve them. Many students with disabilities, many Muslim students, a few Baptists. That's supposed to be a joke. Tall students, short students, and some like me who need wider seats. You've all heard of the freshman 15, right? Well, you're looking at the lifetime 250. The University of Houston, whether you know it or not, has on or directly across the street from it, and I counted them today, 49 different eateries. 49 different places to eat. I have a feeling I don't have time to name them all. It's so many, I don't even have time to name the categories, but I do have a sheet for those of you who are. Anyway, Cedric will talk about some of the campus life and about the residence hall and the eating, and certainly the student center. So let me just say this in closing. So when you come here, You don't just learn math, biology, and history. But getting to know your classmates, you are preparing yourself for life in the global economy, the world of the future. So yes, you'll learn how to make a living, as I pointed out, but we guarantee you will also learn how to live. So again, welcome to this dinner. Welcome to the University Center. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you. Thank you very much.